Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders! We are back today with, what is this, episode 121?
Apparently this is the thing we're doing now.
It is! Now, I was actually meant to look it up ahead of time, but...
and I believe it's 120, because we did 119 last time.
Was it? Okay. That was like 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Matt, Dan, and John here with you in the studio. How you doing,
What up?
guys?
It's my second week in a row.
Second episode in a row.
Second episode in a row, sorry.
Yes, because we must be technically accurate, just like stating the episode titles and numbers. We don't have a title yet.
It's well, actually.
Well, actually.
As we push our glasses up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll have to join you with the metaphysical glasses there.
Yes.
But we have so much news to cover today. It's been a very active news cycle, as we anticipated from the last episode. Dan was feverishly working at his typewriter, just banging away there last night.
The old clackety
Yeah.
clack, clack, clack.
Yeah, no.
Ka-ching, yes.
He likes it. It's very...
It's tactile.
Yeah, no, it's
Exactly,
like
yes.
a droid assembly line, just kind of like your words just being filled out there on the page. John, you're back from Wisconsin, apparently.
Yeah, I was back
Yeah.
from Wisconsin last time, too.
Were you?
I didn't go back to Wisconsin, then come
Oh,
back again.
that's right, man. I don't know. It feels like I haven't seen you since then, so...
It's all right. We're
That's
still
probably
in
yeah.
COVID times where everything seems like it's like in a time warp. And
Yeah, no kidding.
Yes, this is truly the darkest timeline. Because in the Star Wars news, well,
What?
we did have some video game news.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump on into it.
And the reason I say it's the darkest timeline, because we spoke about this a couple episodes back. Our good friends at Zynga have been releasing a game, Star Wars Hunters.
They are not our friends.
Yes. Anyone remembers Farmville? Yes, these are the people behind Farmville.
And stealing just about every other, property for a mobile game back in the day and slapping their own name on it. Yes, those guys.
Well, now that Zynga has a Star Wars license, the trailer for Star Wars Hunters dropped.
I have never heard of that.
The trailer.
Yeah, we talked about it briefly, and it's a cool little trailer.
Yeah. I mean, the character design's really cool, but it's a, and here's where the kicker is free to play. So yeah, we're
So
gonna
that
have
means all
microtransactions
kinds of, pay to
up
play.
the wahoo. Yep. But it's very cartoony. It's a hero-based third-person shooter brawler thing with small teams kind of battling it out in arenas. So very Apex Legends or Overwatch, but with
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh,
But
good.
it will be out on mobile devices and Switch.
Sure, it'll be really big with that, teenager set that are graduating from Fork Knife into other free-to-play stuff. This just in. Yes, I did confirm this is episode 120.
There you
So,
go.
there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so
We strive for accuracy, or at least approximation.
but as horrible as the concept of this game is, actually, I like the character designs.
The character designs were
yeah.
nice. Yeah, they were kind of cool. There was a big wiki dude, and then there was like the little
There's
droidica dude, and then
yeah.
there's some Jedi guy.
Well, there's a droid.
A droid.
And they actually, in supplemental material, I know you guys didn't look into this because you didn't care, but the droid's name is J3D1. So yes, it's Jedi. There's a Jedi droid.
Oh.
I'm
Its
like
armor
going through
looks
my
like-
head like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me
And its armor looks like
switch
Jedi
on my
robes.
elite speak circuits.
And he uses a lightsaber. So yes, there is a Jedi-themed droid.
Oh my goodness! Well, it makes sense. You got to make sure that you don't have too many Jedi. Because
Yeah.
obviously, because there's a heavy blaster Imperial trooper out there that this is during the Galactic Civil War, and there shouldn't
Yep.
be too many Jedi's active at the time.
Mm-hmm. And there's the cliche goth chick lady, Sith lady. I'm sorry.
Tell me more.
Yeah. My favorite character though is the Two-Jawas-in-a-trechcoat.
I mean, you had me a Two-Jawas-in-a-trechcoat.
There's also an Ugnaught riding a droidica in the middle, like Grievous's wheel bikes. So
Oh,
that's kind of,
jeez. Wow.
so there's some funny character designs out of it. So hopefully we get
okay.
something out of that. But yeah, otherwise it's oh, you want to actually progress in this game? Please, credit card, please.
I can't. Yeah, no, I can't imagine actually trying to play an action game on my phone.
Yeah.
And just especially a competitive one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So I guess
whatever.
Switch will be the best version of
But
this.
there's okay. So what about let's shift gears to the slightly better than darker timeline.
What do you mean? That was the best Star Wars news coming out. No, I'm kidding.
No, it was not. In fact,
But yes, they did announce that Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake.
Oh, that's so exciting. I'm so happy about that.
yeah.
Now, of course, the trailer was literally just a render of Revan coming out of the shadows and the logo. So we have zero information yet other than this is happening. But yeah, that sounds hot.
It's funny because I started my streaming by doing KOTOR, a couple of years back, and since even before then, it was just always people would pop in and like, hey, did you hear about they're doing like some other remake on KOTOR? They're going to be redoing it, and it's just been one of those. It's like Firefly reboots. It just pops up every so often. Did you hear they're going to be doing it? It's like no, they're not doing a thing. Now they're finally doing a thing. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm curious to see if they're going to rework some of the mechanics and things in there.
Some articles coming out are saying that they are updating things. Hopefully, it's
Okay.
not too much more than just graphical.
There's
yeah.
there's some dated systems in that game. If you haven't played it recently, I wouldn't mind a little bit of an
mechanical
update.
things, graphical things. I just hope they just don't.
The story is great. Yeah,
I hope they don't tweak the story. I hope they don't try and update for modern audiences.
And don't make it an MMO. Please don't make it an MMO.
No, we've already
no.
got one.
I know,
Yeah.
but don't do another one.
Oh, okay. No, I think they're good.
Yeah.
No.
They've only announced it out for PS5 and PC so far, so it's unclear at this point if it's going to be a timed exclusive for PS5 or if the Xbox people are screwed. But I know you'll be playing it on PC, Matt,
Oh, yeah.
and I'll be playing it on PC.
And
So-
hopefully I'll have a PS5 by that time.
And hopefully
It
John
might
will
easy
be able
for
to spell PC at some point.
Yes.
So. But no, that should be cool. I don't think I have it in me to do another Dark Side preview or playthrough, so I guess we'll have to go through and do
Really, that was the fun
light
part.
side.
That was the fun part.
The fun one.
Yeah.
Do I need to remind? I'm not
Just
going to
piss
say
everyone
anything.
off and kill them. That's like.
Yeah, but then there's character things that happen, and they're absolutely horrifying. You'd probably love it, John. So
I probably would.
yeah. You would. Okay, what else do we have? Some other news, maybe?
Some other news, yeah. Well, other than I actually missed it last episode. I don't know if anyone caught that because we didn't get any messages. I forgot to say 132 days to LVO.
My gosh, you did.
So is it 132 from now? Or
From now,
last
yes.
episode?
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
gotcha.
Oh, so what was the one from last episode?
Why you gotta put me on the spot like that?
146.
Yeah. Some quick maths.
I was told there'd be no math.
You were lied to. There's
Yes.
always math.
But more relevant to the near future, the SoCal Open had a small update.
Yay.
I am very stoked for that and also very disappointed.
Oh, yes. So they announced that they will have a unit release restriction. I think you had a little more details than what I wrote in the notes here. I wrote down that it was all units available as of 10/9, so October 9th, will be legal and available.
Yeah, so the actual the post on the Frontline Gaming Star Wars Legion Facebook page says, regarding the SoCal Open unit release restrictions, the event will allow the use of Star Wars Legion units available in and fully released in the United States as of October 9th. So
In the United States. Yeah.
So if you're traveling from England or you are ordering things from England to get here on time, because of course across the pond they're all reveling in their purchases of Yoda and the Wookiee warriors. Meanwhile, we're
Are they
sitting
reveling?
here.
Are they having Wookiee style or Ewok style dances?
I
and
hope so.
banging
They
the
should
drums
be.
around?
They
Okay.
should be.
All
Because
right,
I
cool.
would be if I were getting them right now. Because last I heard, it's late November now for us for
Yeah.
Yoda.
It was
and
November.
Well, it's not
Sorry,
that
yes.
they're even getting them early at this point. They're just getting them when they should have, and we're getting pushed back like crazy. But
Yeah. Which, like, I remember back in the day when occasionally Italy would get something like a week ahead of us, and we'd be like a little salty about it, but say, okay,
Yeah.
cool. This is ridiculous. Like,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'm not really sure what the deal is. Because Asmodee is what, a French company, right? Originally?
French company, but,
Yeah.
AMG is based in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
It's-
wondering if that might shift some of their focuses and things like that with how they view the global economy. But
Oh, I
anyways.
think it's just based on land shipment versus sea shipment.
Oh, okay.
Because all the stuff coming in from China is coming in
Oh,
via
yeah,
port,
yeah,
whereas
yeah.
with land transport. Anyway, we talked about that last episode.
Yep. Yeah.
Either way, if you are hoping on Yoda and the Wookiees to be in your list, like I was for SoCal Open, they need to get here by October 9th for everyone, and not just for people like me who may have ordered it online.
For everyone here in the United
For
States.
importing.
Yes. Paying that premium.
But did have MiniStravaganza. It's a little thing.
What?
Yeah.
What's
little,
that? I hadn't heard about that.
It's a mini. It's a Stravaganza. It's so mini.
It's so small.
Yes.
Honestly, I thought it was a bigger Stravaganza. It was at least a mid-Stravaganza, if
Oh,
not
okay.
possibly a maxi-Stravaganza.
No, not a moderate Stravaganza.
No. But I play MCP too, so
Oh.
so there was lots of Stravaganzing for me.
Yeah, there was a lot of MCP stuff announced here. I mean, it was like more. Well, I wouldn't say half of the MCP.
So you might say it was an extravagant Stravaganza.
Extra Stravaganza.
Well, I think it was they were like 27 different like breakaways from the MiniStravaganza, and I think 22 of them were MCP. I think there were like 4 Legion and
I don't
1
think
X-wing.
No, I don't think the ratio was quite that bad. I'd have to go back and look at the
I
schedule
think
again.
it was.
But
I think it was.
no, Legion
Oh,
had.
yeah?
I mean, because
Yeah.
if you count reveals plus painting streams, so there's the substantive streams where they're actually talking about stuff, and then there's just the painting stuff.
It was well over half.
Just
it was
the
like-
painting
Just the
stuff?
painting stuff, yeah. But yeah, no, a vast majority of it was MCP.
Yeah.
X-wing had some big changes too.
Mm-hmm.
Armada was mentioned.
That's good. At least they're in the conversation.
But you know why you're all here? It's for Legion.
Yes.
Of course, we're recording a little bit later than a lot of the other podcasts. So,
Oh, yeah.
For anyone who is catching all this information for the first time, thank you for your loyalty.
No, I'm sure. I mean, we were posting that stuff up on the Facebook page, and you were doing a
Yeah.
good job of keeping that stuff updated, Dan.
Yeah,
So. But yeah, still a lot to talk about. Did you get to play the hunting season event?
I did not. And oh god, the hunting season. I mean, no, don't get me wrong on that phrasing. The event actually was pretty cool and
Yeah.
allowed for better flexibility than the previous one they did in the previous Stravaganza, because it was literally just take your 800-point force and slap an extra unit onto it,
Right.
as opposed to having to have a completely unique list building experience as with unconventional warfare was. So this was suited better for the unfortunate thing that AMG just drops it on the day of.
They did
But-
one for MCP as well.
They did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, for all the games. So
Yeah.
X-Wing had one, Armada had
Oh,
one,
okay.
and things like that. So, but yeah, AMG, because I know Will and Simone and all you guys listen to us here.
Yes. Hello.
Please, at least 1 week, give
Yeah.
us the rules. Don't give us the perk chart. Do that every day of, but just give us the rules a week out, because it'd be great if we could, plan an event, get our communities
That
together.
would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, we probably should just forecasting now that these are going to be a thing. Just like, next mini extravaganza, we're going to plan to have an event that weekend, and you know.
But I mean, just being able to list build for it and
Yeah,
prepare.
plan a little bit would be
I
great.
mean, if we need to get specific table layouts, if it's got to be skirmish versus full size, just
I
give
love
us a
this
heads
kind
up.
of event. Yeah,
No.
short term. They're going to calculate the results. Do we have any results? I thought a couple guys played last weekend, right?
Yeah, we had a couple guys at our local store play, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any of the responses from that or results of that.
Yeah, but it was
I
supposed to decide like a card art or something. Like
That's
that.
what I did last time.
Yeah.
I actually missed if they mentioned what the results of this
Okay.
will actually entail. But yeah, please, AMG, hear us. We need advance notice, or at least advanced information on this, just to set up the events.
At least Dan does. He's
Yeah.
way less flexible than the rest of us. It's that droid programming.
It's funny because I don't play droids, but anyway.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah. But they did wrap up the remainder of the Kashyyyk wave.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see some of the cards that they were previewed.
Yeah, so the infantry support platform,
Are we gonna jump into the cards now?
should we
here
jump
for
into the
that?
cards?
Yeah, let's do that.
is not a support. It's a heavy.
Interesting. I like.
But
that.
it does support your inventory. Inventory, wow. Infantry does support your infantry with a lot of. It's very fire support oriented.
Yeah.
So I mean,
is.
it's meant to pour. It shoots and then you fire support into
That's
it.
where you get the support word.
Yeah,
in the thing,
exactly.
so-
I was a little surprised it didn't have the transport keyword. I was
A
kind of
lot of people
expecting it
thinking
would.
that, but it only had 2 seats.
yeah, I don't. I'm not surprised by that.
I mean, the Persuader class tank droid had no seats, but the droids managed to find places to sit. So.
Droids don't need chairs.
The Armor 3 surprised me. But let's go ahead and go through the card, Dan. Then let's talk about it.
All right, so this is for a heavy, really, I mean, base unit, very cheap.
Yeah.
We'll get into other things that you need to add on to it, but 65 points for a heavy.
Which, I mean, the Republic needs that.
Yeah, no, I think this is an absolutely needed addition. And it's outside of that very contested support slot, so that's fantastic.
Yep, it has room for a pilot, hardpoint, and comms. 7 health, breaks at 5. White defense die and surges both ways, both for attack and defense.
All right.
Armor 3,
Yeah.
cover 1, so that's 4 dice you're canceling right off the bat, which is, why not make it full armor at that point?
Right.
Hover ground, and weak point rear and sides. So only point
Wow.
front towards enemy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Included weapon is just the pilots and their blaster rifles, range 1 to 3, 2 black. The DC-15 blaster rifles.
Yeah, so you're not going to be taking this just for the blaster rifles. You pretty much have to staple an upgrade to this thing.
Well, hopefully it's worth using. Oh, wait, we've got those cards here, too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is an infantry support platform. We know, I think we talked about there was going to be rockets and twin lasers and all that kind of stuff, so we got the information on those as well. Let's see. Oh, well, let's go in order here. So we've got the pilot upgrade, and that's going to be the 327th Star Corps Elite Armor Pilots, 5-point card, pilot upgrade, as mentioned, infantry support platform only. While attacking, if a friendly unit uses fire support, you gain surge to crit.
So, yeah.
There you go.
Which, I mean, it already surges to hit, so it's not, like, mathematically that big of an addition, but for only 5 points, and if you're looking at trying to take out vehicles, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's got some use.
a Z6 squad throwing into this is just
Yeah.
feels gross.
Because they needed more fire support
Yeah,
shenanigans.
I mean, that's kind of that's kind of their shtick. With
Yeah,
the
no,
clones.
absolutely.
I mean, other than being the most overpowered army that shares all the tokens. But anyway.
Okay, right. So they've got DC-15 blaster rifles, but that's not good enough. We're going to start looking at their heavy weapon upgrades. Starting with twin blaster cannon, range 1 to 3. Is that just a grip load of black dice, or
that is a pile of black.
Okay, so that's 8 black dice that it tosses for 40 points.
6 black dice.
Oh, 6. I'm sorry. Yes.
Math
I
is
was
hard.
told there would be no math. When you activate, you may have this weapon's dice and keyword values until the end of your activation. If you do, you gain Gunslinger, critical 2, fixed front. I kind of like that. I like Gunslinger. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. So you got the guys up there with the bop gunners kind of like laying down fire, and then you can split it into 4 and 4. Oh, no, 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Right.
either 6 at one target or 3 and 3 at 2 targets.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's interesting how they mechanically worded that.
Yeah. Well, I think, I mean, that'll allow you to, give more suppression to 2 different units, so I guess that's good.
And, I mean, you could have another squad fire support each of those individual targets.
Yeah.
If you wanted to burn 3 activations at once.
Yeah, that's true.
But, I mean, if you're nuking 2 things off the board.
Okay. Next one we have is so all these upgrades are 40 points, but next one is the twin missile pods, range 2 to 4. And what are the dice on that one, Dan?
That's 4 red.
4 red. Okay. Oh, hey, you wrote them down there.
Yes.
Okay. Down at the bottom. No, where my eyes aren't. Oh, okay.
My eyes are up here, sir.
When you activate, you may have this weapon's dice and keyword values until the end of your activation. If you do, you gain Gunslinger. Wow. It's deja vu all over again. Fixed front, impact 2. So you get impact 2, you get split dice, 2 red going either way. Yeah, that's not horrible.
In the range
Yeah.
4, I mean, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
If you're
yeah.
using it just as a support piece and not moving it around a whole lot.
I don't know how much I'd want to split fire on that one. But
Yeah, just 2 red and 2 red.
Yeah.
Again, unless you're fire supporting another pile of dice into it. But it
But
requires
you
a lot
would-
of setup
yeah,
to do that.
yeah.
Now, would the impact keyword, would that apply to, impact 2 to
Yeah, I
both
don't-
dice pools?
I don't
then?
No,
think so.
the text there, when you activate, have the weapon's dice and keyword
And
values.
keyword, okay.
So it'd be same
good
thing with the
catch,
twin
good
blaster
catch.
cannon. It'd be either critical 2 at one target or critical 1 at 2 individual targets. Same thing here, impact 2 at 1 or impact 1 at 2.
Thank you for being our reading comprehension coach, Dan.
Yeah, I
appreciate that.
appreciate that.
Or I was told there'd be no words. Wait,
We're all about the edutainment here. Anyways, twin beam cannons, also 40 points, 1 to 4. And we've got red, red, white, white. Now that I know to look for it down there. Thank you, Dan. Beam 2. That's it. No, well, and fixed front also, of course, but Beam 2.
Yeah, so
That's fun.
A cheaper platform to put the beam cannon on if you're not doing that on the Saber.
Take that, clankers.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's cool because it allows you if you're fighting clankers and they got somebody who's all bunched up like that, and you can get that's 2 red and 2 white then for each unit that it hits. So you're going to be actually probably doing a lot more mathematically with that.
Yeah. Considering the Saber tanks is only 2 red, so you get the extra 2 white on top of that, which it's white dice, but still this has surge or surge to crit. So.
Which of these are you taking if you're taking one? I mean, obviously, I think you have to take one, right? You're not going to take this just for the platform.
No, yeah. So we're looking at a minimum 105 points for this, whatever you're going to do.
Probably 110 with the pilot. And
probably.
Then if you got a comms on there, link targeting array
110,
or something
120.
Like that. Yeah.
It's still pretty damn cheap, I think.
Yeah.
I'm inclined to go missile pods, but that's just because I'm expecting vehicles, so...
I mean, impact versus the critical on the laser cannons, or the blaster cannons. That's 7 to 1, half dozen the other.
Yeah, range 4 is pretty nice too. So
yeah,
I think if you're taking the twin blaster cannon, I don't see the reason to take the Star Core pilot because you're already going to have critical too.
Point.
So
yeah,
I think if you're trying to get like a trimmed down version of this, that's kind of a take all comers. I'm looking at the twin blaster cannon. I'm like, all right, so it's 6 dice. It surges to hit, so I mean you're still hitting 5 out of 8 times. On top of that, critical 2. I'm leaning towards that, but
Dan, what do you think?
No, I'm the twin blaster cannons. I think are the most.
No.
You're
You're supposed to do the beam one. We all picked a different one. Come on, jeez.
Honestly, I don't think beam. Yeah, but you'd have to have several groups of low numbered units clustered together for it to really be effective. And I don't know if just shaving a couple units off of three targets is.
You take 2 of these guys. You load up the twin beams,
and you
go twin beam.
But
okay, that's fair. I guess it would kind of depend on what your meta is looking like. If it's just like swarms of dudes, maybe the beam will do a little bit more work. If you're seeing vehicles, you got answers though. That's the cool thing is you can go and plug in, and you don't even have to change fiddle with the points on your list. It's just 40-point swap out. So there you go. Just go plug this one in.
Yeah, maybe if you're used to running a Saber tank and you want to fit some points in for other things, and then you're like, well.
Getting that 8th activation,
Yeah, I mean it's another fire support option that's not quite as expensive as a Saber tank.
Yeah,
and of course this particular model was on one of the Legion painting streams, and it did look very very fiddly. I'm seeing all this Kashyyyk stuff looks very spindly, it'll be fun to put together. But I did ask during this stream about the base size, and they did respond that the base for this is the Snowspeeder size base.
Oh, okay. So that's a pretty good chunk there.
Yeah. That and this because it did the hover ground will have these side notches so it can strafe as well.
Oh, nice.
So,
also,
that makes sense.
I don't know if we mentioned this yet, but it is not a droid trooper, so it does not have the ability to share tokens.
Clone trooper.
I'm sorry, clone trooper.
It's also
obviously
not a
droid
trooper.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, Dan.
Technically correct.
Yes.
Technically correct.
Striving for accuracy.
Yes.
Just like a stormtrooper. Okay, do we want to jump into the next one then, or how do we have this broken down?
The NR-N99 Persader class tank droid or snail tank.
I don't know which one I feel like calling it, the Persuader or the Snail. It sounds like some kind of, what are they, gastropods?
They are. That is correct.
I mean, Geonosians are insectoid anyway, right? There's a little bit of Imperial salt with this one, and we'll go when we go through the stat line.
Why would you salt the snail?
Snail.
Because it deserves it. But anyway.
Now I can only think about that Always Sunny scene.
Gale the snail.
Gale the snail.
Get out of here. All right, so I'll go and take this one. 145 points for the Persuader class droid or tank droid. 11 health, 7 resilience, white dice save, but surges to crit and surges to hit. Keywords: it has armor. It has full armor, not armor 3.
Just full on armor.
Full on armor. Arsenal 2. Programmed, meaning that you have to equip a program upgrade card. Reposition. Transport 1 open. That means you can only transport 1 friendly trooper unit. And weak point side. So basically a lot of parallels to the Gav tank.
Oh
right?
yeah. So I mean, it's straight up almost a word for word on the card text, and the stat line, the 11 health, 7 white defense die, is straight up the ATST.
Yeah.
Except it also surges to hit.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than
And
both
it's
of those.
cheaper. Well, I mean, with the Gav, it's the same base price, but with the add-ons, the Gav does come out more expensive, especially considering the weapons that are attached to this thing.
Yeah, so
Take that, Empire.
we did mention it has the program upgrade that's required. It also has comms, and it also has, I believe, a weapon upgrade.
The ordnance, yeah.
Ordnance, yeah. So for weapons, it's got an ion cannon, range 1 to 2, impact 1, ion 1, fixed front, and throws 1 red, 1 black, 1 white. Notice that there's no cycle or
No tap, no nothing.
no tap, nothing.
It's
so,
just keep continuing to pew the ion.
I heart this so much.
and then there's more.
Yay.
The heavy repeating blasters, range 1 to 4, critical 1, fixed front, red, black, black, white, white.
So it's an E-web cannon.
And because it's got Arsenal 2, if you're within that sweet spot of range 1 to 2, you can fire both of those guns.
Yep, or pop an ordnance on there if you want to fill some gaps. Or
Yep.
It's like, yeah. So, yeah, it's the I'm you but better. I swear I'm going to start a meme series of I'm you but better, showing an Imperial unit and then everything.
And then they're going to correct it, and you're going to feel like, oh, I just wasted my life.
Well, we'll talk about erratas a little later in the show, but and memes are never a waste of life, sir.
That's a fair point. They're very important. Anyways, yeah, I like the ion cannon. I feel like that is awesome. You're going to have it. It's not a choice that you can replace or opt into. It's just going to be there, and I think it's going to see a lot of use.
I mean, it's a short range.
It is short range.
But-
No, there needs to be some balance to it, and that seems to be how, well, there's plenty of things they've done to balance the ion game. But keeping the short range, I like. It's keeping that impact 1 on there. We got the ion 1. As you said, there's no tap or cycle or anything like that. I think it's a good time for it to show up, though, especially with a grip of new vehicles getting into the game.
Yeah. So with the transport keyword, do you see yourself using it for that more than just as a fire support platform? Or if you are using it for transport, who would you bring in it?
For these guys, droidicas. Wait, no, you can't do that?
you can't do
Okay,
that.
never mind. I don't know, maybe some BX sortie boys?
I mean, that's not a bad use for it. I think the Magna Guard could
We're just
probably-
going to have... Oh, man.
I mean-
we could turn it into like a Pope Mobile like they did for Palp in the Gav tank. We'll just have Dooku on there.
Well,
It'll be
that
great.
was my kind of initial thought too. Was like you got Dooku, who I mean, Grievous is fast, relatively fast. He's got scale
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything.
Maul is
Maul has the
bonkers.
ability
Yeah.
to kind of deep strike in there.
Pinball all over the board.
Dooku doesn't have a lot of options to get up into combat fast, so this might be like Pope Mobile 2.0.
The Duke
Done
mobile?
right, yeah, the revenge. Although seeing the little Dooku speeder back there, kind of hover around speeder that he's got, that might be kind of dope. But yeah, in the meantime, a tank will do, I guess.
I mean, the boring but practical answer is a B2 HA T-Series tactical droid squad just getting dropped off at range 2 just to nuke something.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely could be.
yeah, that
useful
makes a
as
lot
well.
of sense.
Yeah.
I hate you.
But no, we want to go flashy, get some
Yeah,
get some
there you
stabby
go.
boys. Throw Christopher Lee in there. Yeah.
This is my stop.
So, did we have any new ordnance that was shown off with that?
No, all the ordnance in the card spread on the Asmodee store page is the same ordnance we already know, the same 3.
Okay.
So I don't think they're really going to be doing any new ordnance anytime soon.
But the exciting thing that we get to see is the protocols, and actually, I am very excited by these because the spider tanks are going to have this as well, right?
The spider droid, which of course going back to Ion, also has a pretty decent Ion gun. That does cycle, unlike every other ion gun out there. So is droids the best anti-droid force now?
They are their own worst
Know your enemy. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the protocols. We already saw with the droid the engagement protocols. I'm sorry, not the engagement, the attack ones, which just give you, AI aim and precise 2. But we got the other 2 protocols here, which this on the snail tank, just the mental image of defense protocols is just hilarious.
Being a snail.
Well, yeah.
Oh, AC dodge, yeah, or AI dodge, excuse me. Yeah, that's so there are 3 points. Defense protocols, you gain AI dodge.
And you gain nimble and outmaneuver.
And, oh, wow. That's a lot of text there. Nimble. Ooh, wow. That's really good.
Yeah,
that is kind of...
so a big snail tank, he's... Serpentine. Serpentine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's huge. I mean, the ability to save your dodge tokens, and on top of that, use them to block crits for 3 points. That's insane. Like,
I was gonna say,
darn, I have to take a defense.
You need that
protocol.
outmaneuver, or else what's the point? But yeah, that's pretty cool. Keep it, especially for a white save, even though it's got all that armor on there, it can still it chips. You can get chipped away there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we've got the engagement protocols. 5 points. Vehicle only, you gain AI, attack, and move.
So this is kind of the boring but practical, middle of the road one.
The default one for all the B1s and all that kind of stuff. Congratulations.
And more expensive. It's 5 points versus 3 on the other two. So if you want to specialize, you get a little point savings. A little bit.
That's a good point.
I think that would be really good on the spider droids, just because if you're down on, say you are taking 4 wounds, you want to get in there to do your self-destruct, and they've given you a one of your broken tokens that don't allow you to move, or you only move once or whatever. Well, at least you can use that AI to move, and then do the self-destruct.
Yeah, I mean, gives you the most flexibility out of that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking the droid boys with the defense protocol.
Oh,
running in there, as long as you can get them orders, so
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. Oh, that'd be just to get them in there without too much damage, and then
Yep. I think, and then on top of that, so the only ones that actually do the protocols are the snail tank and the spider droids, right?
so far, yes.
So far, okay. I was trying to think if you can stick that on I don't know, one of the other units that would make it better, but no.
That would be kind of cool, but
Yeah, maybe in a future change or errata, but we'll get more into it.
some sort of upgrade slot specialist or something like that. But anyways,
So that's it for the Kashyyyk wave.
that's it for Kashyyyk wave. But
Whenever,
who cares about that stuff?
That's whenever we can actually, get the Kashyyyk wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But we're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, Matt here to tell you about our friends over at 6UP Supply. If you're like me and don't have access to your own 3D printers, 6UP Supply has you covered with a whole suite of printing services to bring those awesome files to life. The Outriders are proud to be partnered with 6UP, and you could find special themed terrain, gear, and tokens with a big discount for Patreon members in the Outrider Central section of the website. And that's not all. You can also get terrain bases, game supplies, tools, LED kits, and more. Stuff is being added all the time. So stop by the number 6upsupply.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER to save 10% on your next order, and let them help you up your game.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, Outriders. Matt, Dan, and John here, and we've got the spiciest of nuggets. At least I feel it's the spiciest nugget in my heart, and I need to probably see a doctor about that.
I was going to say, it sounds like you should probably take some Pepto-Bismol or something.
I was gonna say, yes.
Got a piece of Polar sausage lodged in the linings of my heart.
Yeah. I was going to say, to quote the great work that is Spaceballs, somebody get this guy some Pepto-Bismol.
Is that Spaceballs?
The very end with the diner.
Oh, right. The space special.
Yes.
Okay.
Change mine to the soup. But anyway.
All right. Tangents aside. So this was something I wish listed, I think, in like episode 2 or 3 or something of the
way back
Outriders.
there,
Yeah. Because coming from X-Wing, I played my Scum and Villainy factions. And we're getting Scum and Villainy Light, it looks like.
Well, I mean, yes. So not everyone assumed there would just be a straight up new faction.
Right.
So this didn't mechanically fit in as a faction. Well, I'm sure it would have fit in, but they didn't design it. But I think mechanically they designed this to be way more flexible and allow way more things into Legion that wouldn't normally fit into the classic 4 or 5 faction structure.
Right.
That they have going here.
So we got some more or less.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone knows we're getting, Shadow Collective and Maul and whatnot in here. So I wouldn't want to focus too much on the units. I want to see how they focus on how they really design this to be able to work with other things potentially in the future.
Yeah, so traditionally, usually, and this is actually kind of important to this because this is the design studio. So in the old Warmahordes days back there, I played Mercenaries there as well. And there was always a concern because they could work for other factions that you always had to be really careful about what you gave them because there were some keywords that would interact within the certain factions they could work for and just like break them out. So there was a tendency to be conservative on what they can do, which usually meant underpowered. Not saying that's going to be the case here, but it is what I'm concerned about because they're going to be working for multiple factions. They're probably going to be, again, this is the wills here. So I'm really curious to see what it is. I'm very excited. I'll definitely be buying all the stuff that comes out for it because, I'm easy like that. But okay, so what do we got? Let's start it out with. I don't want to start on like a down note, but it's just something that I've got in the back of my mind.
Right. So there are two main concepts that they introduced here, and they work in tandem together. Are mercenary units and battle forces.
Are we talking like a tandem bicycle or
Yes.
like a sidecar kind of motorcycle thing?
It's two penny farthings, and they're holding hands across from each other. No, I'm kidding.
Well, that sounds disastrous.
Kids, Google what a penny farthing is. But anyway,
Kids, like anybody under the age of 70.
Unless you were into that the hipster steampunk thing of like the early 2000s, you probably
So, what is a mercenary force? They are units that can be used by one or more of the current four factions, or four armies, but they're not their own army. Meaning you can't just take, I'm going to take the mercenary faction. No, you can't just take them on their own. They have to be slotted in or joined together with or
they're
hired
going
by.
to be quote unquote imperial
Yes.
or rebellion
Yes,
or something.
yes.
Yeah.
So they do have their own individual kind of mini factions. They showed this when they previewed some of the Pike units. Is they'll have their own Pike keywords and things that reference and refer to that. But they mentioned that Pike's Black Sun and more yet to be revealed is their actual wording on that. So units of one of these mercenary factions can only give orders and use the courage bubbles of their own faction. So if you have a bunch of, for example, that they did when they did the game that they played during MiniStravaganza, they had Pikes in CIS.
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot which commander they were using. Oh, it was
like
Kraken. Yeah, it was. I think it was one of the
Yeah.
super tactical droids.
Oh, okay.
So yes, the Pike units couldn't use the super tactical droids'
Right.
courage value because they're not the same. They're just hired.
Okay.
They're not doing it out of loyalty. They're doing it for money. So I'm sure they'll.
Well, and I feel like that kind of goes to address some of the concerns you had, Matt,
Yeah.
because it's like an internal mechanic built in to prevent them from just all of a sudden like boosting themselves above what the normal faction.
No,
troops
that's a
would
fair
have been.
point. Yeah, if they're going to be treated like separate sub forces within a force, that in and of itself, if you're got a nice commander that's able to do a bunch of stuff for their troops, but you're not able to interact with those guys over there, you are limiting the effectiveness of that unit. But then again, if you're planning around it, it probably won't be an issue. At least I would hope.
Yeah, so they showed off some of the Pike cards as part of this. Now, of course, they did censor some of the information on them. But the Pikes, foot soldiers, which are core units, they have Danger Sense 2, Outmaneuver, and two interesting new keywords. Self-preservation. So when checking to see if you panic, you cannot use the courage value of units that are not the same affiliation as you. We just mentioned that.
Yep.
So, and independent. So this one's interesting. Independent dodge 1. At the start of activation phase, if you do not have an order token, gain a dodge.
That I like.
That I like
that
a lot.
Yeah.
Especially coming from some factions do really good at giving order tokens to their core units. CIS, Republic. Like, there's a lot of token sharing. Even Empire, depending on your command cards. As a Rebel Trooper player, like my Rebel Troopers don't get tokens. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, occasionally if I've got an extra one, I'll toss them on the veterans just to give them the dodge. But now, hey, I get rewarded for neglecting my troops.
Yeah, right.
Those are just hired guns. They're fine. They'll do okay. Do we know what kind of order tokens they're going to have? I was just thinking about the backings? For
Not
the
yet.
Various,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Are they
actually-
going to have multiples of different factions in there?
I guess I would
Um,
imagine that if you're playing Rebels, you would use a regular Rebel Trooper or
Yeah,
Rebel
that's a fair
Core
point.
unit.
Yeah,
but
'cause if you
they
use
usually
the-
put all the tokens inside the box with them, so I'm curious if there's going to be multiple sheets of like all the different armies they'll work for.
I'm interesting how they do that, but I mean, everyone.
Nobody
Everyone's
really
using-
cares. Everybody's
nobody
got
cares.
custom tokens anyway.
Yeah, or custom or the with the bag
Yeah.
system. The thing. It's just to prevent anything from the stack system.
Yeah.
That's done in casual. I mean, they'll probably because what they did redact off this card was what factions that these mercs can go into.
Right.
That also, coincidentally, that box also blocked the price.
We'll figure it out. It's fine.
But we do know that from the sample game that they played on stream that at least the Pikes can go into the droid army because they used them in the droid army as part of it.
yeah.
But their stat line is very similar to Rebel Troopers. Since you mentioned Rebel Troopers
yep.
earlier,
Yep.
white defense die surges to defense, does not surge for offense. 2 white die in melee and a 1/3 1 black die in ranged. But they have some very interesting upgrades that can be slapped onto
yeah.
these guys. The P-13M Disruptor Soldier, which if anyone watched the stream, they did confuse a bit of the keywords between these guys, but
Yeah,
makes sense.
that does not
give.
give immobilize.
Yeah, ranged immobilized would just be
Range 4 immobilize.
Yes. Yeah. But it is red, black, black, range 1 to 4, impact 1, so basically a slant on the DLT.
Yeah, it would be nicer if it had it's actually very similar to the Rebel DLT.
Yeah, swapping out critical for
Yeah.
for impact.
Which I'd much rather have critical on it, but beggars can't be choosers. And it's still a pretty good weapon.
Yeah.
But I think the hotness on this guy will definitely be the Electro Whip.
I mean, having the ability to reach out to range 1 and having 2 red, I don't know how often you're gonna get them into melee or up that close with white dice.
I mean,
saves.
Probably don't want to, but
But at 10 points, we
yeah.
don't know what the actual unit cost is going to be.
makes me want to put grenades on them even more now.
Yeah. If you're trying to get them up to range,
Stop
up
at
to
that range 1.
I mean, with the independent dodge and outmaneuver baked into them,
Yeah.
I mean, they have some defensive stuff. So these guys are going to be tar pits.
I just got the images of the old Ferengi from Next Generation with the Electro Whips at range 1. Like, yeah! Star Trek was a show that was kind of... never mind. John.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
tell you later. Okay. But, it's cool. Up to range 1. Yeah, red. Immobilize
yeah.
1. Suppressive, 10 points?
I mean...
Especially since there's only 10 points, and it looks like the unit might be
Put them
9
on a
points
snail
a model.
take.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
you're giving you an extra body and that additional weapon for 1 point extra.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
seems pretty
I
solid.
mean, but the standalone guy, the Pike Syndicate Foot Soldier, does have something a little extra than a standard.
a reason to bring the
personnel.
extra dude.
Yeah. It's also Cash Aim 1. So basically just holds on to an aim token that you can use anytime during the game.
This is mine. I brought it from
Yes.
home.
So, I mean, the Electro Whip plus either this or the Capo, which we'll get to in a second, this seems like a horrible tar pit for melee and Jedi units.
Yeah. So if you're going to be using this cache thing, this is the first unit that's had the cache keyword,
Yes.
correct? So this is during the setup phase, you place 1 aim token on there. Does that mean that at the end of the first round, you have to get rid of that aim token?
No, because it exists on the card, not on the unit.
Gotcha.
And it doesn't replenish. It's just a once per game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many people use Offensive Push and only use it
Oh,
once
yeah,
per
absolutely.
game? So.
Yeah.
No, I think it's fantastic. I just want to make sure I was reading it right. But I like that. Yeah, and it's your basic Pike Syndicate Foot Soldier price. He just gives you an extra plus right there.
Yeah. So, like I said, these guys seem to be like horrible tar pits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm kind of wondering now if they're going to re-update some of the older units that are in the game. Like, are Stormtroopers going to get a card like this? Cash, I didn't have any other options, so my dad told me to go join the army. Kind of emotional baggage.
But I brought my aim token with
Yeah,
me.
I brought my aim token. Yeah. All my pent-up frustrations I have to get out on the battlefield. I mean, it's a little wordy, but I think it gets the point across.
I mean, we'll see. They've said that there will be erratas in the next RRG. So, but they did say they didn't want to change card text too much.
That's just adding a new card.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a slam dunk. But anyways, also we've got the Capo, Don Giovanni Pike.
Yes.
He gives them the kiss of death.
So yeah, this is your kind of generic officer that you can either add to a unit or bring himself as a command card. If you add him to a unit, they gain Independent Surge 1.
So not only are you getting the dodge token, you're getting a surge token
yes.
for neglecting them.
Yes, and I did specifically ask on the stream if this either stacks or you have to choose it independently, like Coordinate does have to choose independently. And they stated that no, these do stack. So you do get the surge and the dodge token. Though they already natively surge a defense, so you're just getting a little extra offense out of there.
Nice.
Which is not bad.
16 points for the leader, and that's not bad.
No.
That's for the unit upgrade version.
Yeah.
16 points. But then there's the full I'm just a dude card. We don't know the points. He's got what? Command and equipment upgrade. Danger Sense 2, Independent, Dodge 1.
And the redacted box did cover up his top ability, which they did verbally say was aid, and then the Pike symbol.
Oh, real? Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Good catch. Okay.
So these sub-factions will have their own symbol as well for reference, so things can refer to it if it has that symbol. So this is aid, which is a new keyword. When you would gain an aim, dodge, or surge, another friendly, in this case Pike unit, at range 1 and line of sight can gain that token instead, and if they do, you gain a suppression. So this is a more flexible... oh, dang it, I'm blanking. What was the word on the super tac droids?
Oh.
Strategize.
Yeah.
Strategize.
Oh, okay. They just
Yeah.
they like to keep things in the family.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see what this character is going to cost, or like what the point value for this guy is going to be. If the pikes are going to be based on what we're seeing, 9 points from the foot soldier. If there's 4 soldiers in the unit, if that's going to be a 36-point unit,
But how much point tax are they adding for the cash keyword? That's
Right.
the thing we don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
but
If
even still,
any. Yeah.
I mean, 9 points times 4. If that's a 36-point unit, I mean, that's going to be ridiculously cheap. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah.
Is this
There might be a hiring fee levied in there
Sure.
for.
because
Bringing them in.
base rebel troopers are 40 points each?
Yeah.
I think what B1 droids are 36 for a unit.
Yeah.
So if this, I mean, I would say if this is 36 point, it's broken good. If it's 40 points, I think it's still good.
Yeah.
If it's 44 points, I think it's still playable. I think anything high 40s.
Beyond that, it's like,
yeah,
okay.
once you start getting into like phase 1,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
phase
yeah,
2,
no.
I think it's going to be not playable.
Sir, I've met phase 1 and you are no phase 1. But to finish off on the Capo there, so 4 health, 2 leadership, white defense dice. He's got the long blaster, same as the troops. So black, range 1 to 3. Well, it's not the same. He's got 3 of them as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
But the same name of the thing. And then 1 black unarmed. So he's much less of the flurry of blows with the double white. He gets in there and pops them once.
The sculpts on these guys are really fun.
yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Capo has the steepled fingers of
Now these guys, they're the ones that were fighting against the two sisters.
Yes,
in
they
the new
were in
Clone
there.
Wars
Yeah.
series,
Yes,
right?
yeah, they've been in
I
Clone
mean, they've been
Wars.
all over Clone Wars
Right.
multiple times.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be cool to see them in Mandalorian or something pop up. Did we?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they've still got those costumes around from Solo that they can just
Go.
reuse.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those the ones in Solo that were like in the train heist thing.
No, on Kessel. The one,
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the one that Akira beats up in that room. That's a Pike.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good call.
So
Okay.
yeah, the one last thing on the mercenaries, it was verbally mentioned that there will be a command card upgrade called Underworld Connections that gives a keyword called Allies of Convenience, and they said that will allow you to issue orders to your mercs. So you
Okay.
can treat them closer like your army if you pay for an upgrade on that.
Interesting. So yeah, I think if you're gonna run these, you probably bring like a small contingent, not just like
Yeah.
one unit.
Yeah. Do you use them more for objective work, or do you use them more for interference, linebackers? Well,
I think what we're seeing from the Pike guys, like they seem like they might be decent objective campers.
Yeah.
I mean, the only downside to not being able to put an objective on them or a command token on them to get them to pick up. But
Now you mentioned we know that Maul's coming out too. We're getting Robot Leg Maul as he appeared in Solo and in parts of the Clone Wars and all that kind of stuff. How is that going to work if we can't? Does that mean we're going to have two HQs if we pick like an Imperial force, but we want to have Maul in there too? We can't just have him as our HQ choice.
So in regards to Maul and his Maul DeLorean specifically, they did state that they will not merc for anyone.
Oh,
they are their own thing. So that's where the Battle Forces comes in.
Hey, let's talk about Battle Forces.
So they openly said that this is the future of AMG's design for Legion. So this is how AMG wants to go forward with forces in Legion. It's basically new army construction rules.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. This is something I've kind of always tried to keep in my back of my mind when constructing. So like my Land's Airspeeder T-47 list, it's mostly Hoth stuff in there, and they're all themed out for winter stuff. So I am very excited for this. John, I'm sure you're in bunches, absolutely.
I'm of two minds on this. So I'm extremely excited about the thematic aspect of like making. I mean, obviously, I want to make a Kashyyyk force.
Sure.
And have like I already like put all my guys like jungle theme and stuff like that. I want like an Endor force because they talked about Wookiees and Ewoks. I'm very excited about that. So
spoilers.
Oh, the Ewoks.
Oh, my bad. I was gonna say that yet. Yeah. So like, I'm definitely excited about that, like the thematic aspect of that. My only concern is like with competitive play, if it's gonna make it to be like where everyone needs to run the same exact battle force because the special rules are.
You're worried about
another.
lack of flexibility then if you're going to be.
I'm worried about seeing the same kind of armies.
I think
copy and pasted.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many Wookiees you can plug in there if you want to play Kashyyyk or something like that. But what do we know about it so far, Dan?
Well, when you choose a battle force, each battle force will have its own unique force organization chart. And it was stated that it may be different than the standard.
3 T-47s?
I mean,
probably not. No.
I think
I just want Wookiee as core. Wookiee's as core.
Oh man!
Or I mean, the Force Org could say instead of 3 to 6 core, it could say 0 to 3 core, and then 3 to 6 special forces instead.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
So I mean, they could just rearrange it that way, so don't have to change the rank of that particular unit. Just say, hey, you don't have to take the core. You don't have to do the standard commander and core. You can do something else. So, like I said, this adds a lot of flexibility. And really allows you to slot in units. I mean, everyone wants Hondo, right? Hondo just slots in everything now.
He has so many
He has
stories.
yes.
Many of them true.
Or even Dr. Afra. Like,
how do
you fit her into the conventional four?
Wait, did they actually mention Afra?
They did not, but these are people that could fit into this style of thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they said that, where was it? Sorry, lost my notes. They can allow for different combinations of things. So a battle force could say, well, yes, this is normally a rebel unit, and this is normally an imperial unit, but in this battle force, you could take either of them as well. So you could choose different forces to fit into there. And some battle forces will have unique command cards specific to that battle force.
I was going to say, there's got to be some upside for restricting you on this kind of list building.
And there's the theoretical possibility, I didn't state it, but of other bonuses potentially being in there, saying this battle force gets +1 order, or you gain direct, or something.
If you got a Hoth force, you start with environmental systems or something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, there's the potential for throwing different bonuses in there for taking specific units.
I'm so excited for this.
I'm sure they'll still keep the standard. At least I hope they'll still keep the standard kind of generic Imperial, generic Rebel, generic force, where you can use the current force organization and current army building rules. These are just kind of flavors and offshoots.
It'd be kind of fun if they had a little starter one for like the beginner boxes. It's like
so they said,
micro force,
and I'm getting ahead of my notes here, that battle forces will be their own boxed products and be presented as really a good onboarding product for new players to come in. So you get a new player in, you're like, cool, so just pick up the battle force box and maybe not have a full army, but at least enough to do maybe a skirmish game or something.
I think that's a great way to get it.
So this is, and also what we've seen other game studios doing, like GW's had those Battle Force boxes for years and years. Even War Machine had like the starter caster box plus, assortments of their heavies or whatever guys in there. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's how they're going to do Shadow Collective. The Shadow Collective is going to be its own box, and Shadow Collective is going to be its own battle force. And this specific battle force will say, you take Maul, and you can take the Mandalorian super commandos that are affiliated with Maul, and they said that those super commandos don't work for anyone else other than Maul too.
Wow. Okay.
So, so you
Interesting.
So yeah, that allows them to build even non of the 4 conventional factioned armies as well.
But they're not their own faction.
But they're officially their own faction, so you can't do it.
But
like
they kind of are.
But this battle force allows you to run them as if they were.
Oh, okay.
But
All right.
no, they are not their own.
We
faction
just get an asterisk next to them.
Yes.
Okay.
But of course, they also said that Maul can use the Pikes, the Black Sun, which we didn't talk about the Folly and the Black Sun too much.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
That was the Shadows of the Empire, right? From
Yes.
64?
Yep.
Nice.
Yes.
We haven't heard any huts though, right?
Not yet, but I
Not
mean
yet.
that is completely feasible with this system. So
your dream of playing Zero the Hutt might come true, Matt.
Oh boy.
what's sad with that is you're gonna have to paint his
Playing
Zero the
against
Hutt.
you.
Oh, God.
I hope you gave him a very nice jacket. No, that's not his voice. But...
It's pretty close.
Yeah, okay.
Closer than I'm comfortable with.
I'll have to practice it for our games together.
I mean, you're the one that has to watch more of those episodes, so I feel bad for you. No, I'm really excited about those. I mean, they sound really thematic. They sound a lot of fun. We're already kind of doing that anyway. So, getting some of the extra bonus command cards and everything, it sounds fun.
It's great. This is, I feel like this is a very strong statement given the recent, turbulent stuff that we've been, we're just coming out of that basically. And they're like, okay, you guys are worried. Blam, here you go. This is the future of Legion. And it looks pretty good. I'm sure this is stuff that they've been planning on for a while. It's
I think they said that the Kashyyyk wave was FFG planned.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they said if the Shadow Collective was FFG planned. I'm gonna have to review all the stuff on that and see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it still shows that they're committed to the future. A couple other little notes on that. They said that all the bounty hunters in the game, Boba, Bosk, and Cad Bane, are getting Mercenary remakes.
Nice.
And new physical cards.
Yay.
So yeah, they'll be a lot more flexible. And they said the physical cards will be made available. But they
we're
didn't
doing
say.
Zemo Cad Bane all over up in your face there.
God,
you're gonna have so much fun.
I think there's a lot of the cool things that this opens up is a lot of the newer Star Wars stuff we're seeing are things that don't fit nicely in like one of those 4 core armies.
Yeah.
Everything we're seeing in Mandalorian, like.
Yeah, that would not work in the conventional 4 army structure we have right now.
So, having them the ability to have the mercenary options, having these battle forces, things like that, you could really open up a lot more of the stuff that's out there and the stuff that's probably on the way.
Yeah. Oh, I just realized. Yeah, Baron Zemo the Hutt. Is that what I was thinking?
Was that his name?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
He's taking Baron Zemo from the MCU.
Yeah, apparently I was
okay.
conflating the two. Yeah. But either way, I'm going to do it just to annoy you.
But for the current 4 factions, they did say that future battle forces that will be coming out soon after, because yes, the Shadow Collective will be the first battle force in the game. But the ones that come after that will be the Echo-based Defenders, so you get your Hoth army. Blizzard Force, so we get the Imperial Hoth army.
Hell yeah.
The 501st for the Republic. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I mean, they could do a Darth Vader, but
You going to get
Pre-suit
into them
Vader.
again if they do the Wolfpack theme?
I already did my own Wolfpack theme, so.
Right. But if would you actually
if
play
they
them?
do a battle
if,
force and they release Plo Koon
Will they
with them?
fit with Yoda?
I mean, that's all up to points, but yeah.
Because then I'll do it. But
Okay.
so far, the only thing that's going to get me into Republic right now is Yoda.
You just want
the
Yoda,
Wookieee Warriors. I just want Yoda.
He's got the best stick.
It's better than bacon.
What?
Oh, too bad we weren't recording the whole pre-show. We were debating which bad lip sync song was better. Was it Seagulls or My Stick?
Seagulls.
I think it's my stick.
Wow. I'll see you on the battlefield.
So listeners, do post in the comments which bad lip reading song was better. But yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention Droid Invasion was the 4th battle force that they said. So everyone's assuming that's Naboo. Though it could be, Kashyyyk Invasion.
Yeah, it could be.
There's so much invasions going
Yes.
on. Probably accompanied by loss of communication.
Yeah. So one thing I'm excited about for Battle Forces, though, is the ability for them, since they'll be separate boxed products, to do hard plastic resculpts of some of the older models.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, a Blizzard Force, you could drop a hard plastic ATST in there.
Ooh.
And,
Wait.
ATST.
Was
not
that not
AT.
a hard plastic?
No, that was the soft plastic. That was wave 1.
I know, but I could have sworn the material was more... Did I use plastic glue
It didn't
on
feel like the PVC plastic.
No? Okay.
But
That's a good point. They've been assembled for so long, I was having to cast my mind back in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, but I mean, the current sculpt on there, and I'm going off on a tangent, I know. There you could throw some more hinges in there and get some more leg poses that would be more accurate to... there are...
Hello, my baby.
Yeah, not just that. Right now, the hips,
kick line. You know?
the hips only go forward. They don't go side to side. So you can't really get a movie accurate walking pose with the current one. Yes, I'm anal about this.
Wow,
Yes.
Dad. Wow.
There are on Shapeways. There are people that sell hip kits that have extra hinges.
Ball
in
and
them. But
socket kids. Oh my goodness.
So anyway, tangent. I know, but I mean just base stormtroopers. Because I'm still being a crazy person and updating all my stormtroopers to upgrade pack stormtroopers, but they throw a hard plastic one or hard plastic snowtroopers. Get some really good.
No, that'd be
effects in
really
it.
good. I love snow troopers too, so I'd love to see them, getting their own blizzard force there. Get more reason to get them out there. Okay, let's move along because we are running long on time. But you guys are fine with that. We got so much to cover.
Oh yeah,
let's
we've
keep going.
got so much going on. So the future,
The future, the year 2000.
So in lieu of these two giant announcements, they announced a lot of little things that are coming in the future. So the next RRG errata and points changes, which we're all looking forward to.
Yeah. Don't bring
In
Wookiees back down.
conjunction with. You said in lieu.
In lieu. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's fine. We're striving for technical accuracy
here. Yes.
That is the theme of this
I was told
episode.
there'd be no accuracy.
Well, you're in the right place, buddy.
The exact quote was coming this month or next. So sometime in September or October.
Yay.
Hopefully that's not depending on shipping.
They can ship a PDF.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Why would you do that? It's going to drop like the day before the SoCal Open.
Oh, God.
Actually, yeah, I wonder, because they said units. What about RRG availability? We'll have to reach out to them.
I
a
guess
good
we'll have to
question,
get
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, stock up on your blue ink now. Because I'm sure it's going to be like...
Cyan is low.
Yes. But throughout all the events, of course, like we referenced earlier, they did play a game of CIS with Mercenaries versus Imperials, and they dropped some spicy erratas on Vader, since he was using Vader. Thank you.
Yes. I'm excited about everything that we've talked about so far, but it just keeps building right now. It's just a ball of enthusiasm welling up within me, and it's going to explode all over Vader here.
Oh, God.
I feel like I need to call a phrasing on myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Still, that is the feeling.
Anyway, so they announced that Vader will be receiving a command slot.
Yay!
So basically a staple vigilance to
I was
him
going to
now.
say, it's going to be vigilance. Right? Every time.
He's gaining compel core unit.
Makes sense.
Which, I mean, makes sense. Yeah. And I mean, so you've got infinite courage and compel. So you're running up with, 6 squads of core units.
Delicious.
That are basically suppression immune until Vader dies and everyone panics. It's good. Oh, crap.
Free at last!
And 2 of his command cards, they announced, if Darkness Descends is not divulged, he gets a permanent reliable 2. Which is going to be...
Remind me again, was reliable too.
Gain 2 surge tokens.
Oh,
At the start of the turn.
Oh, and he doesn't have any surge.
He doesn't
anyway.
surge anything anyway.
No, it's so beautiful.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, I mean, he needs that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think more so for defensive than offensive. Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. Well, I mean, it's chucking red dice, so...
Yeah. And Implacable will be gaining, says gain a dodge token at the start of each of the 2 activations on the Implacable turn.
Oh, God.
So
Which,
Vader
of
is going
course,
to be a monster.
with vigilance, is you're just going to sit on him anyway if you're not shooting at him.
Mm-hmm.
God.
So my plans of run away from Vader always is just I'm doubling down on that now.
Well, yeah, and burst of speed when that comes out on him.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be a monster, as he should be.
I mean, I'm testing Operative Vader with Burst of Speed right now, so...
Ooh.
And into the fray to add those surge tokens, so...
God.
Yeah. My only thing that they didn't say, and what I thought of, they're adding so much stuff. Is his price going to go back up?
I should hope so. I mean, it should to reflect all this. I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want Vader to be a badass. Like, I want Vader to be one of the most feared. He should be one of the most feared characters in the game. His price should reflect that. So,
sorry, I feel like a million Imperial players just deleted this episode. And, and now sitting in
I'm still here,
silence.
guys.
Yeah. They're like, we get one good thing, and you want to bring his points back up? Oh my goodness, John.
I mean, actually, this is more like my bigger concern is just for the balance within the Imperial faction, because I don't want it to be so that every Imperial army is just going to be Vader. Like,
no, he is in the Imperial faction now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, that
It's
is
not
it.
Imperial, it's
Yeah.
the Vader faction.
Yeah, it's Vader.
Yes.
I mean, one nice thing about the Rebels is like we have a lot of internal balance, so you can bring a number of different different builds and have it be competitive.
Yeah, because they're all
Luke,
good.
Luke Commander.
Yeah.
Commander Luke's still decent. I don't know, man. I still like it.
Yeah. He's fun.
Another big change: the battle card phase in turn 0. You lay out all 4 of your cards now,
Yay.
so you don't kill one and put down the 3x3. It's now 3x4.
Meaning
Now-
you can't force the third card.
Right.
Well, blue player can't force a third card. Red player actually gets some agency in there and says, "Well, I don't like that third card you're trying to force. We'll go to 4."
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it takes both players now to force a card, basically. So, or well, they're up in Seattle. They have In and Out up in there, so they're probably thinking, let's get a 3x4. No, anyway, sorry, that was a bad joke.
I enjoy a 3x3 animal style
Yes.
tomato. But
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I was like,
no,
the one
that was
person.
bad.
Yeah. It's okay.
I'm sorry
I
to our-
appreciate your attempt at humor, Dan.
Yes, I
You did it,
apologize
buddy.
to our East Coast listeners that are no idea what the hell we're talking about.
It's okay. They've got Whataburger. They're fine. Wait,
No,
do they have
that's
that on the
Texas.
East Coast? Yeah, I guess that is sounds.
No, they have
Never
White
mind.
Castle.
Culver's for life.
Yeah, I know. They dropped the White Castle here in Vegas, and we tried it, and
It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I mean,
let's
if
just
you
say-
love White Castle, love your White Castle, but
our office tried it, and let's just say that there was some intestinal distress the next day. So
We haven't had lunch yet. Let's move on.
as far as OP, they did announce that AMG is committed to doing Worlds and other high-level competitive play. But of course,
good.
thanks to everything going on in the world right now, there's
World's
no
not ready yet.
Yeah, World's
Yeah.
not ready for them.
yeah.
The 2020 invites will still be honored.
Okay.
I still have that.
Oh, really? Hey, by the time. Wow.
I still have an invite to Worlds.
Now,
if I only
now can you
find
find?
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you find it?
Yeah, if you show up to that, you're gonna have like a Rose-style flashback at the beginning of Titanic. It was 80 years ago.
I'm gonna show up with my Tauntaun list again.
That
Like,
was
this was good when I won my invite.
I mean, it still was pretty mean.
Yeah. Tauntauns. Isn't that, dad rebel lists?
And AMG stated that they will be working and be at Adepticon and have both narrative and competitive events at future Adepticons. So they're planned to be with the OP.
That's good.
Yeah. They said 2 new narrative OP kits for stores are coming. And sounded pretty interesting. One's going to involve trying to collect a bunch of resources with a roaming Dianoga on the board.
Oh god.
That's the trash compactor monster for
Yes.
those that don't, think about the Dianoga often like I do.
Yeah, so all the people out there with their Rancor scenarios, I mean, I'm sure you could adapt this to that. At least there'll be a rule set that you can use for a roaming wildlife.
I'm going to need a mercenary card for the Dianoga.
Yeah.
I didn't know Dianogas moved. I thought they were just like stuck in a trash compactor.
I mean, sure, on that one, Death Star.
How did they get a Dianoga into the Death Star?
One had one as a pet, and one of the stormtroopers, and
he flushed
it
it.
got too big
Yeah,
and
he
got flushed.
Actually,
Come on.
from a certain point of view for A New Hope, there was actually a story of how that happened.
Are you?
But anyway,
Okay. Of course there is.
Yes.
Because of course.
and to make it even more absurd, that Dianoga is actually mildly force sensitive and was trying to communicate with Luke, not so much trying to eat him through the
Oh,
force.
what?
Yeah. From a certain point of view, had
Written
some
directed
great...
by George Lucas.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
So yes, the certain point of view had some good stories. That one was a little weird. The other one that from the OP kits is a asymmetric heist scenario. They said that a smaller group of heroes will be trying to escape with some resources off the board against a larger group. So sounds interesting.
Sounds like Imperial Assault.
Actually, I didn't make that connection. You're
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Actually,
I'm
we
gonna have
can
to.
be fun.
I'm gonna have to digest that a little more. And they did bring up Vader Down again because I'm sure they're regretting mentioning Vader Down in the first MiniStravaganza.
Yep.
Because everyone's just like, oh my god, we want that.
Yeah.
But they said it's still in development. They're still trying to figure out how to have what they said was an imbalanced force and not imbalanced in.
Yeah. Sure. Let's go to the next line and say it slowly. Come on. Read it for me.
What?
The next one.
Swoop bikes.
Yes!
Yes.
Rebel swoop bikes,
Well,
baby.
they gave zero information about
Rebel swoop bikes.
all they showed was the sculpt, so they didn't say what
Alright.
force it goes into.
It
no
could be
abilities.
mercenary, I guess.
Yeah, it
but
could be mercenary.
Rebels are taking them.
Why are you so excited about swoop bikes?
Because swoops are cool, man. That was the years of freedom on Star Wars Galaxies, heading across the dunes and Tatooine on your
Alright.
custom swoop bike.
Go further back to Shadows of the Empire. Awesome.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, there was levels on that. There was Jedi Academy had swoop bikes in there. It was a very annoying level, but I need me some swoop bikes because I mean, so sure we got the 74Zs. Very cool repulsor, speeder bikes.
Yeah.
But there's way more out there, and I'm very excited for these.
Yeah,
Because
and-
fast attack choices, baby.
I just want to put my Ewoks on them.
Yeah, I've got some extra of the Empire ones. You're going to have to do a flying Ewok off of one of them.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
Though these swoop bikes, the renders they did show, they had vibro pikes or vibro axes on them. So melee speeder vehicle.
It's like the Clone Wars cartoon,
yes,
the Tartakovsky
IG,
with the
the jousting IGs.
Finally, it's happening. It's happening, baby.
I mean, I guess you could pop overrun on them.
Can I put Dooku on one?
Well, he has his own hover round. They just mentioned that Mando content, getting back to Mando, is currently in playtesting and due at the end of 2022 and most likely into 2023 if delays or anything in there.
I mean, I'm glad they did address, because I'm sure people have been screaming for this since season 1.
Yeah,
You
and
know.
since they meant, oh god, I forgot what year it was that they
Yeah.
said Mando was coming to X-Wing and Legion. It was pre-COVID.
And they're saying
yeah.
2023, so it's going
Yeah.
to be a little while.
But name dropped were Mando, the Child, IG-11, Moff Gideon, Dark Troopers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Dark Troopers.
I bet you are.
And they showed the render for what the community is calling Dad Bod Boba.
Oh yeah.
With that gaffy stick and tactical rocks. We didn't talk about tactical rocks with Maul.
Wait, what?
You remember the Maul render? We're jumping way back to Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the tactical rock he's jumping off of,
Oh, right. Okay.
which is supposed to be kind of the stained glass window from the Mandalore throne room.
Okay.
So they said it was going to be.
I was expecting some sort of Ewok tie-in with them dropping rocks on ATSTs. Sorry, when you say tactical rock, that's what I'm thinking of.
Actually, those are the most tactical rounds.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, you
exactly.
guys play MCP. That term originated, as far as I'm aware, from MCP.
Oh no, we've moved on from tactical rocks to tactical explosions now.
Oh,
now
okay.
everyone's jumping over explosions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or magical effects or
Yeah.
something. And they said that all the Mando content will use the mercenary mechanics, because of course that's how it's going to work
Everybody's
mechanically.
going to
in
want to
fact.
buy
Yeah.
Mando.
Yeah. But they did specifically say that Dad Bod Boba will be in the Rebel faction, though.
Cool.
Oh,
I'm
really?
very
Yeah.
cool with that.
They
Interesting.
said that.
Huh.
So that's. I mean, it makes sense. He's smashing stormtroopers with a gaffy stick on the side of a mountain.
I feel like he doesn't discriminate on who he smashes with
No,
a gaffy stick.
it's-
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
you're in my way right now, so
Yeah.
you get the gaffies.
He's gonna thunk you in
Does
the head
he
with
have
his
the best stick? Yeah.
And of course, we keep referencing it multiple times this episode. In 2023 will be the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Ewoks!
Are they going to come with extra supplies of coffee beans with them?
Oh, we're gonna go old with
Throwbacks.
references. Yes. Oh man. But yeah, they said sculpting and design is in progress. But it doesn't matter how they're going to work in the game. People are going to buy them just because
I am absolutely going to buy them. I'm going to run them. Hopefully they're core. I really hope they're core units because I want to run them with my Wookiees and just have Wookiees and Ewoks.
If I could interject with the Chewbacca defense, does not make sense. But anyway,
Yub, Commander. It's cool. We're just getting so much flavor and cool units from throughout Star Wars now. It's what a golden time.
It is.
With hopefully the bad times behind us. But anyways, what else we got? We got a couple more things.
Wilshick, towards the end, of course, he was just rapid firing stuff out because he was getting told by his handler or whoever was off screen the wrap it up sign.
Okay. Quick, I got to drop the okay.
So he said more content from Clone Wars, Rebels, and several other Star Wars media outlets are coming. And at the very end, he did a mic drop where he's like, "Thanks for coming, everybody. Ahsoka confirmed."
So good.
Yeah. And of course, everybody started freaking out immediately. Wait, which one? Is it going to be Clone Wars? Is it going to be Rebels? Is it going to be,
I mean, you got 2 Yoda sculpts in one box. You could throw 2 Ahsoka sculpts in that. You can, all the way from Snips to Clone Wars to Season 7.
Cards should be different because she is at very different power levels, I think.
They could throw different cards in there.
I guess so. Okay, we'll see.
Yeah.
More information on that. We're going to do kind of a quick wrap up here, but guys, thank you so much for coming out and going over all that amazing content. And of course, as always, stop by the Facebook page. We make sure to get that information out as quickly as we can. Dan is on top of that at all times, and if not, he's got. I think Diff is kind of like your shortstop for
thank you, Diff.
for news. Yes. Thank you to all our Patreon guys. If you want to support the Legion Outriders, head to patreon.com/Legion Outriders. John, where can people find you?
I'm at Outrider_John on Instagram.
Dan?
On the Discord is Outrider_Dan or DanTech.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at GRN_Archer or Captain_Archer on Twitch, streaming space game content and whatnot. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for your support. And we will be back next episode with number 121 and with whatever news may come our way.
I was told there'd be no counting.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.